Okay, back on the roll bars. So as you can see, it's a bit snug at the bottom on each side. So I'm going to crank these, those top ends and give them another degree each, and see if that brings it a bit more parallel to the rubbers. Okay, a bit more cranking, tweaking, fettling, and I've got a really nice fit. I've ended up having another 10-degree bend down at the bottom just to put it in. It keeps it parallel with the B pillar and the rubber, so it just makes most clearance and it's most hidden. In fact, you can barely see it from outside. So I know it's not roll cage spec compliant because I think they only have 4 bends per bar, but that is bang on the body on the A-post, and yeah, just tucked really nicely out of the way with just enough clearance to get the rubbers in. So that's where she's going, and then I can do the rear stays. Okay, more bits and pieces arriving in the post. These are semi-temporary. They've got the markings and everything for IVA. They're as chromy and old looking as I can find, without spending an absolute fortune. So those will get used for the moment. And because they're stainless inside, the gap is not as noticeable. The mismatch in diameters, so she'll see. Right, so loyal viewers will remember I cocked up that bit of tube bending at the beginning, but it's been rescued. There you go. So that's fish mouth up to that top bar, and that is pretty much perfect, really. I suppose I could have maybe tucked it in a little bit further at the top, but not really. The only issue is down here. This part is steel and that's aluminium, so I'm going to have like a base plate welded onto. I'll weld and glue and rivet a base plate, well, spreader plate. But yes, a bit of a faff. But coming round, it's actually in, well, both sides when they're done will be really good for sort of finishing off the boot structure and mounting the boot hinges off. See, I've just done it right to the edge of the shotgun tube. But yeah, there's a reasonable amount of space to the seals to get all those in. And obviously I have to work out the trim panel. I do have a trim panel that is for this whole back half of the roof. I'll have to see how it works. The tubing takes priority. Safety and all that. I'll work around it. Yeah, 13. So now we have a duplicate of the first bar. So I just need to lay them next to each other, just make sure, put the fish mouth 45 degrees to that. And then they'll be ready to prep the spreader plates. Okay, probably retire the tube bender for a little while now. Sometimes things just go your way. So there we go, the 2 C posts nicely tucked out the way. That one. That one, nice copy. And also you can see the fish mouths have worked out nicely straight away. Obviously I'll tweaking the position, but that's literally just standing there on its own. As you can see, tucked up sort of midway between the side and rear screen. Yeah, so I'll have to make these spreader plates. It's going to be a bit fiddly. I'll probably have to chop that one down a little bit just to allow for the thickness of the spreader plate. That's why I've got spaces under that one, you can see. Yeah, doing good. Just had a delivery. So the wheels look the same as before, with an extra inch. That's a fairly neat job, just need a bit of painting, and then I'll chuck those tyres on and see how she looks. Onto the last couple of wheels, fitting the tyres myself. I did the rounds and I'm sick of getting ripped off for just fitting and balancing tyres just when it's temporary. So for the less than the cost of the change, I've bought all the tools. So this is the standard sort of kit. That's for breaking the bead before. You can see I've fitted the Tesla TPMS. Amazingly, just when I took the old wheels off and the car was shut down, well, off, I was getting all the alerts for loss of tyre pressure. And then this other bit, this is sort of a duck head adapter bit. So you use that to actually get the tyre over the edge of the lip. And that is the tough bit. So it's not fun. Hence, I haven't really been filming this because it's been really annoying. Anyway, last two, and then I'll show you what they look like on the car. Right, last wheel and tyre. I'll try and film this one. I'm sure I'll buy a little bubble balancer at some point, but for now, that's it. I'm not sure if I showed this the other day, but this is just a 3D printed concentric spacer just to take up. There's a millimetre gap between the Tesla centre bore and the steel wheel centre bore. Aired out with the new wheels. Okay, so I had the laser set up on the lift, and I was playing around with the top seatbelt mount. So these are 3/4 inch OD threaded tubes with the weird UNF thread that seatbelts tend to have. I had it set up on the pillar drill over there and in the clamp just to make sure the hole went nice and centrally through the bar. But yeah, I went 8mm, and then the step drill, actually the 20mm, just because of the shape of the tube, the surface. I went down to 20mm, and you can see it hasn't quite caught the edges, the sides, at the top and bottom. So that's a nice snug fit. So I'll fire up the TIG, but I've left that slightly proud just in case, to allow for, I don't know, trim and stuff inside. But I do want to keep it as far out as possible. Just don't want it banging on the seat. That's the top seatbelt mounts in. Let's see. It's all original Tesla front belts. I'll probably cut down some of this excess plastic and 3D print up a little neat, just a black cover. I think it's metal with all this plastic is superfluous. It's just part of the sliding mechanism that goes up and down in the B pillar on the Tesla. Yeah, I guess I'll make up the rear stay base plates. So continuing on, so those rear braces are tacked in position now, all looking nice and symmetrical. All the clamps away, and the next bit is to fit the inertia reels for the seat belts. So I don't know if I showed you those. The top bosses are in. There's the inertia reel mounted. It's incredibly close. I've made that bracket a bolt-on separate bracket because it's so close to the DC high voltage charge cables, and the connectors on the inertia reel are right up against the body there. But if I have any issues, that is obviously removable, so I can rebend and reshape the bracket. I'll probably just go for broke and make the drivers permanent install from the beginning. But yeah, that one it's too tight. Change my mind. Drivers is also removable now, and I've extended the twisted pairs for the pre-tensioner wiring on both sides. So yeah, I think it's time to lift the body up and then fully weld everything.